In this lesson, we'll learn about Angular derivative nglf and ngtemplate. So let's start. So initially, let's modify this form slightly, and then for that, we're going to use Bootstrap nav. So let's go to the getbootstrap.com page, and then let's look up for navs. And then Bootstrap has this different kind of navigation, and we're looking for something like this tab. So let's copy this example and let's use that in our page. So if I go to the login component, and here before the form, if I paste that example, and then if I change here from active to this one to be called sign in, and then the next one to be called sign up, and then let's remove the remaining examples. So now we have this tab for sign in and sign up, so that the user can toggle between them. Next, so by default, this form and then this navigation is taking the whole page. So we can change that by adding a div here, and the div will finish after the navigation and the form. And then if we fixed the div width by typing style, width is somewhat like 400 px, and then if we change the margin to auto, then it will automatically put same margin on both left and right, and as a result it will only take 400 pixel and it will go at the middle of the page. Now let's take a look at the nglf directive that we are going to use to actually toggle between these two tabs. So for that, let's create a variable in our component called, so we are basically creating a variable that will indicate whether the sign in form should be visible or not. So let's call this sign in form visible, and by default the value is true. So now we can start using the nglf directive. So the nglf directive is, the syntax for this goes like this. It starts with an star symbol and then ng capital IF, and then what it allows is to conditionally control the UI. So if I put here the nglf condition to be the value of the sign in form visible, then what will happen is that if that variable is true, then this div will show up, which is this navigation and the form, everything inside that div. So let's see that in action. If we go to the browser, the whole thing is showing up. Now if we change the value from true to false. Then if we go back to the page, the whole form became invisible because of that value change. So the next thing we want to do is, if the value is false, then maybe we want to show something else, and that's where the ng template comes in. So for that, we can go back to the component HTML, and here we can say that nglf equals to sign in form visible, and then we can add that else the sign up form. So now we have to declare a sign up form block, so we can use it when this scope of this ngif finishes, which is at the end of this div. So after that, we can add a ng template block, and we can name this ng template sign up form. So the sign up form will be here. Now we can go and see that the sign up form is now showing up when the value is false, but if we change the value back to true, then the sign in form is showing up. So now let's go ahead and create the sign up form as well. So for this, we can copy the sign in form and paste it here. And we can make a small change that, so for the sign in form, the sign in button is active. Similarly, for the sign up form, the sign up navigation item will be active. And then this submit button, we can call this one sign in, and then this other submit button, we can call this sign up. Now we can go back in the UI and we see that by default this sign in form is showing up, and then the sign in button is showing up, and then the remaining fields are still the same. But then if we change here the sign in form visible being false, then we will go back and we'll see that the sign up form is showing up and the sign up button is showing up. The style got changed, so for that we need to apply the same div style for the sign up form as well. And then now so here we have two divs, so we can delete that, and now our sign in and sign up forms are showing up. But now we want this tab to start working. So for that, what we can do is we can add a function here to make the sign in from visible versus invisible. So make sign in from visible, and the way we will do it, so when this function is called, the value for sign in from visible will be true. And since this is a class variable, we have to use the keyword this dot sign in from visible. Similarly, to make the sign up form visible, we need to change this to false. And let's go back and make the default value to be sign in from visible. Now for this function to be called, we have to use the previously used event binding concept. So the way we can do is, let's copy this function name, and in our HTML, when this sign up button is clicked, so when the sign up button is clicked, we're calling make sign up from visible, and then from the other navigation, when the sign in button is clicked, we make the sign in from visible. So now let's see that in action. If we click on sign up, so since it's a hyperlink, it's also trying to go to that hyperlink. So let's stop that. So let's remove the href so that only the click works. Now let's go back and see it in action. So if we click on sign up, same as before, since this is a function, we actually have to use these brackets to show that this is a function call. Now if we click on sign up, the sign up forms become visible. If we click on sign in, the sign in form becomes visible. So we looked at examples of nglf directive and ng template to use as an else block for the nglf, and then we defined some function so that we can make a particular variable change on click of a button, and then based on that value of that field, either this sign in form becomes visible or the sign up form becomes visible. Thank you.